Chapter 4, Animal Kingdom. When you look around, you will observe different animals with different structures and forms. As over a million species of animal have been described till now, a need for classification become all the more important. The classification also help in assigning a systematic position to newly described species. Basis of classification. In spite of differences in structure and forms of different animals, there are fundamental features common to various individuals in relation to the arrangement of cells, body symmetry, nature of coelom, pattern of digestive, circulatory, and reproductive systems. These features are used on the basis of animal classification, and some of them are discussed here. Levels of organization. Though all members of Animalia are multicellular, all of them do not exhibit the same pattern of organization of cells. For example, in sponges, the cells are arranged as loose aggregates. They exhibit cellular level of organization. Some division of labor activities occur among the cells. In coelenterate, the arrangement of cells is more complex. Here, the cells performing the same function are arranged into tissues. Hence, it called tissue level of organization. A still higher level of organization organ level is exhibited by members of platyhelminthes and other higher phyla, where tissue are grouped together to form organs. Such each specialized for a particular function. In animals like Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, echinoderms, and chordates, organs have associated to form functional systems, each system concerned with a specific physiological function. This pattern is called organ system level of organization. Organ system in different groups of animals exhibit various patterns of complexities. For example, the digestive system in platyhelminthes has only a single opening to the outside of the body that serves as both mouth and anus and is hence called incomplete. A complete digestive system has two openings, mouth and anus. Similarly, the circulatory system may be of two types: open type, in which the blood is pumped out of the heart and the cells and tissues are directly bathed in it, and closed type, in which the blood is circulated through a series of vessels of varying diameters, arteries, veins, and capillaries. Symmetry. Animals can be categorized on the basis of their symmetry. Sponges are mostly asymmetrical. Any plane that passes through the center does not divide them into equal halves. When any plane passing through the central axis of the body divides the organism into two identical halves, it is called radial symmetry. Coelentrates, ctenophores, and echinoderm have this kind of body plan. Animals like Annelida, Arthropoda, etc., where the body can be divided into identical left and right halves in only one plane, exhibit bilateral symmetry. Diploblastic and triploblastic organization. Animals in which the cells are arranged in two embryonic layers, an external ectoderm and an internal endoderm, are called diploblastic animals. Example: coelentrates. An undifferentiated layer mesoglea is present in between the ectoderm and the endoderm. Those animals in which the developing embryo has a third germinal layer, mesoderm, in between the ectoderm and endoderm are called triploblastic animals. Platyhelminthes to chordates. Coelom. The presence or absence of a cavity between the body wall and the gut wall is very important in classification. The body cavity, which is lined by mesoderm, is called coelom. Animals possessing coelom are called coelomates. Example: Annelida, Mollusca, Arthropoda, echinoderms, hemichordates, and chordates. In some animals, the body cavity is not lined by mesoderm. Instead of mesoderm is present as scattered pouches in between the ectoderm and endoderm. Such a body cavity is called pseudocoelom, and the animals possessing them are called pseudocoelomates. Example: Eschyhelminthes. The animals in which the body cavity is absent are called acoelomates. Example: Platyhelminthes. Segmentation. In some animals, the body is externally and internally divided into segments with a spatial serial repetition of at least some organ. For example, in earthworms, the body shows this pattern, this metameric segmentation, and the phenomena is known as metamerism. Notochord. Notochord is a mesodermally derived rod-like structure formed on the dorsal side during embryonic development. In some animals with notochord are called chordates, and those animals which do not form this structure is called non-chordates. Example: Porifera to echinoderms. Classification of animals. The broad classification of Animalia based on the common fundamental features as mentioned in preceding sections is given in figure 4.4. The important characteristic of feature of the different phyla are described. Phylum Porifera. Members of this phylum are commonly known as sponges. They are generally marine and mostly asymmetrical animals. These are primitive multicellular and have cellular level of organization. Sponges have a water transport or canal system. Water enters through minute spores, ostia, in the body wall into the central cavity spongiocele, from where it goes out through the osculum. This pathway of water transport is helpful in gathering food, respiratory exchange, and removal of waste. Choanocytes or collar cells line the spongiocele and the canal's digestion is intracellular. The body is supported by a skeleton made up of spicules or spongin fibers. Sexes are not separate, hermaphrodite. Eggs and sperms are produced by the same individual. Sponges reproduce asexually by fragmentation and sexually by formation of gametes. Fertilization is internal and development is indirect, having a larval stage which is morphologically distinct from the adult. Example: Cycon cypha, Spongilla freshwater sponge, Euspongia bath sponge, phylum Coelenterata, Cnidaria. They are aquatic, mostly marine, sessile or free-living, radial symmetrical animals. The name Cnidaria is derived from the cnidoblast or cnidocytes, which contain the stinging capsule or nematocyst present on the tentacles and the body. Cnidoblasts are used for anchorage, defense, and for the capture of prey. Cnidarians exhibit tissue level of organization and are diploblastic. They have a central gastrovascular cavity with a single opening. Mouth on hypostome. Digestion is extracellular and intracellular. Some of the cnidarians, example, corals, have a skeleton composed of calcium carbonate. Cnidarians exhibit two basic body forms called polyp and medusa. The former is a sessile and cylindrical form like hydra, Adamsia etc., whereas the latter is umbrella shaped and free swimming like Aurelia or jellyfish. Those cnidarians which exhibit in both forms exhibit alternation of generation, metagenesis. Yeah. Polyp produce medusa asexually and medusa form the polyp sexually. Example: Obelia. Examples: Physalia Portuguese of Manvor, Adamsia sea anemone, Penatula sea pen, Gorgonia sea pen, Mandarina brain coral. Phylum Ctenophora. Ctenophores, commonly known as sea walnut or comb jellies, are exclusively marine, radially symmetrical diploblastic organisms with tissue level of organization. The body bears 8 external rows of ciliated comb plates which help in locomotion. Digestion is both extracellular and intracellular. Bioluminescence, the property of a living organism to emit light, is well marked in ctenophores. Sexes are not separate. Reproduction takes place only by sexual means. Fertilization is external with indirect development. Example: Pleurobrachia and Tinoplana. Phylum Platyhelminthes. They have dorso-ventrally flattened body, hence are called flatworms. These are mostly endoparasites found in animals including human beings. Flatworms are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and acoelomate animals with organ level of organization. Hooks and suckers are present in the parasitic forms. Some of them absorb nutrients from the host directly through their body surface. Specialized cells called flame cells help in osmoregulation and excretion. Sexes are not separate. Fertilization is internal and development is through many larval stages. Some members like planaria possess high regeneration capacity. Examples: Taenia tapeworm, Fasciola liver fluke. Asci- Phylum Ascihelminthes. The body of the Ascihelminthes is circular in cross section, hence they are named roundworms. They may be free-living, aquatic or terrestrial, or parasitic in plants and animals. Roundworms have organ system level of body organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and pseudocoelomate animals. Alimentary canal is complete with well-developed muscular pharynx. An excretory tube removes body waste from the body cavity through the excretory pore. Sexes are separate. Dioecious. Males and females are distinct. Often males, often females are longer than males. Fertilization is internal and development may be direct. The young ones resemble the adult or indirect. Example: Ascarius roundworm, Wuchereria filarial worm, and Cyclostoma hookworm. Phylum Annelida. They may be aquatic, marine, and freshwater, or terrestrial, free-living, and sometimes parasitic. They exhibit organ system level of body organization and bilateral symmetry. They are triploblastic, metamerically segmented, and coelomate animals. Their body surface is distinctly marked out of the segment or metameres. And hence the phylum name Annelida, Latin annulus, ring, little ring. They possess longitudinal and circular muscles which help in locomotion. Aquatic annelida like Nereis possesses lateral appendages parapodia which help in swimming. A closed circulatory system is present. Nephridia, singular nephridium, help in osmoregulation and excretion. Neural system consists of a paired ganglia, singular ganglion, connected by a lateral nerve to a double ventral nerve cord. Nereis is an aquatic form, is dioecious, but earthworms and leeches are monoecious. reproduction is sexual. Examples: Nereis ferretima, earthworm, and Herodinaria blood-sucking leech. Phylum Arthropoda. This is the largest phylum of the Animalia, which includes insect. Over two-thirds of the all named species on the earth are arthropoda. They have organ system level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, segmented, and coelomate animals. The body of arthropod is covered by chitinous exoskeleton. The body consists of head, thorax, abdomen. They have jointed appendages, arthros joints, poda appendages. Respiratory organs are gills, book lungs, or tracheal system. Circulatory system is of open type. Sensory organ like antenna, eyes, compound or simple, statocyst or balancing organ are present. Excretion take place through the malphizian tubule. They are mostly dioecious. Fertilization is usually internal. They are mostly oviparous. Development may be direct or indirect. Example: economically important insect: apis, honeybee, bombyx silkworm, lacifer lac insect. Vector: Anopheles, culex, and Aedes are mosquito. Gregarious pest: locusta, locust. Living fossil: Limulus king crab. Phylum Mollusca. This is the second largest animal phylum. Mollusca are terrestrial or aquatic, marine or freshwater, having an organ system level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and coelomate animals. Body is covered by a calcareous shell and is unsegmented with a distinct head, muscular foot, and visceral hump. A soft, spongy layer of skin form a mantle over the visceral hump. The space between the hump and the mantle is called the mantle cavity, in which feather-like gills are present. They have respiratory and excretory function. The anterior head region has sensory tentacles. The mouth contains a file-like rasping organ for feeding called radula. They are usually dioecious and oviparous with indirect development. Examples: Pila, apple snail, Pinctada perlostral, Sepia cuttlefish, Lorigo squid, Octopus devilfish, Apelsia sea hare, Dentalium tusk, Salcuta pleura, Chiton, Phylum Echinodermata. These animals have an endoskeleton of calcareous ossicle and hence the name Echinodermata, spiny bodied. All the marine all are marine with organ system level of organization. The adult echinoderma are radially symmetrical, but larvae are bilaterally symmetrical. They are triploblastic and coelomate animals. Digestive system is complete with mouth on the lower ventral side and anus on the upper dorsal side. The most distinctive feature of the echinoderm is the presence of water vascular system, which help in the locomotion, capture, and the transport of food and respiration. And excretory system is absent. Sexes are separate. Reproduction is sexual. Fertilization is usually external. Development is indirect and with free living larvae. Examples: Asterias starfish, Echinus sea urchin, Antedon sea lily, Cucumeria sea cucumber, Ophura brittle star. Phylum Hemichordata. Hemichordata was earlier considered as subphylum under phylum Chordata, but now it is placed as separate phylum under non-Chordata. Hemichordata have a rudimentary structure in the collar region called the stromochord, a structure similar to notochord. This phylum consists of a small group of worm-like marine animals with organ system level of organization. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, and coelomate animals. The body is cylindrical and is composed of an anterior proboscis, a collar, and a long trunk. Circulatory system is of open type. Respiration takes place through gills. Excretory organ is proboscis gland. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. Development is indirect. Examples: Balanoglossus and Psychoglossus. Phylum Chordata. Animals belonging to phylum Chordata are fundamentally characterized by the presence of a notochord, a dorsal hollow nerve cord, and a paired pharyngeal gill slit. These are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic coelomate with organ system level of organization. They possess a post-anal tail and is closed circulatory system present. In chordates, notochord is present. In non-chordates, absent. Central nervous system is dorsal, hollow, and single in chordates, and central nervous system is ventral, solid, and double in non-chordates. Pharynx perforated by gill slit in chordates, and gill slit are absent in non-chordates. Heart is ventral in chordates, and in non-chordates, heart is dorsal if present. A post-anal tail is present in chordates and absent in non-chordates. Phylum Chordata is divided into three subphyla: Urochordata, Tunicata, Urochordata or Tunicata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. Subphylum Urochordata and Cephalochordata are often referred to as protochordates and are exclusively marine. In Urochordates, notochord is present only in the larval tail, while in cephalochordate it extends from head to tail region is and is persistent throughout their life. Example: Urochordata, Ascadia sulfur doliolum, Cephalochordata, Branchiostomata, Amphioxus, or lancelet. The members of subphylum Vertebrata possess notochord during the embryonic period. The notochord is replaced by cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult. Thus, all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Beside the basic chordate character, vertebrate have a ventral muscular heart with two, three, or four chambers, kidneys for excretion and osmoregulation, and paired appendages which may be fins or limbs. The phylum Vertebrata is further divided as follows. Class Cyclostoma. All the living members of the class Cyclostoma are an ectoparasite on some fishes. They have an elongated body bearing 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respiration. Cyclostomes have a sucking and circular mouth without jaws. Their body is devoid of scales and paired fins. Cranium and vertebral column are cartilaginous. Circulation is of closed type. Cyclostomes and marine are marine but migrate for spawning to fresh water. After spawning within a few days, they die. Their larvae after metamorphosis return to ocean. Examples: Pteromyzon, lamprey, and myxine hagfish. Class Chondrioctes. They are marine animals with a streamlined body and have cartilaginous endoskeleton. Mouth is located ventrally. Notochord is persistent throughout life. Gill slits are separate and without operculum. Gill cover. The skin is tough, containing minute placoid scales. Teeth are modified placoid scales which are backwardly directed. Their jaws are very powerful. These animals are predaceous due to the absence of air bladder. They have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. Heart is two chambered, one auricle and one ventricle. Some of them have electric organs, example torpedo, and some possess poison sting, example trigon. They are cold-blooded poikilothermous animals. They lack the capacity to regulate their body temperature. Sexes are separate. In males, pelvic fins bear claspers. They have internal fertilization and many of them are viviparous. Example: Scoliodon dogfish, Pristis sawfish, Charcharodon great white shark, Trigon stingray. Class Osteochthes. It includes both marine and freshwater fishes with bony endoskeleton. Their body is streamlined. Mouth is mostly terminal. They have four pairs of gills which are covered by an operculum on each side. Skin is covered by cycloid or tenoid scales. Air bladder is present which regulates buoyancy. Heart is two chambered, one auricle and one ventricle. They are cold blooded animals. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is usually external. They are mostly oviparous and development is direct. Marine examples: marine exocystus, flying fish, hippocampus, seahorse, freshwater labio, rohu, katla, clarius magur, aquarium, betta fighting fish, pterophyllum, angelfish. Class Amphibia. As the name indicates, amphibial and bios life. Amphibians can live in aquatic as well as terrestrial habitat. Most of them have two pairs of limbs. Body is divisible into head and trunk. Tail may be present in some. The amphibian skin is moist without scales. The eyes have eyelids. A tympanum represent the ear. Alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tract open into a common chamber called cloaca, which opens to the exterior. Respiration is by gills, lungs, and through skin. The heart is three chambered, two auricle and one ventricle. These are cold blooded animals. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. They are oviparous and development is indirect. Examples: bufo, toad, rana frog, hyla tree frog, salamander, ichthyophis, limbless amphibia. Class Reptilia. The class name refer to their creeping or crawling mode of locomotion. Latin repair or raptum, to creep or crawl. They are mostly terrestrial animals and their body is covered by dry or conified skin, epidermal scales or cuties. They do not have external ear openings. Tympanum represent ear. Limbs, when present, are two pairs. Heart is usually three chambered but four chambered in crocodiles. Reptiles are poikilothermals. Snakes and lizards shed their skin scales as skin cast. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. They are oviparous and development is direct. Example: Chiron turtle, Testudo tortoise, Chameleon tree lizard, Calotis garden lizard, Crocodilus crocodile, alligator, Hemidactylus ward lizard, poisonous snake, Naja cobra, Bangaras karait, Vipera viper. Class Aves. The characteristic feature of the aves birds are the presence of feathers, and most of them can fly except flightless birds. Example: ostrich. They possess beak. The forelimbs are modified into wings. The hind limbs generally have scales and are modified for walking, swimming, or clasping the tree branches. Skin is dry without glands except the oil gland at the base of the tail. Endoskeleton is fully ossified, bony, and the large bone and long bones and the hollow with air cavities, pneumatic. The digestive tract of the birds has additional chambers. The crop and gizzard heart is completely four-chambered. They are warm-blooded homeothermous animals. If they are able to maintain a constant body temperature, respiration is by lungs. Air sacs connected to lung supplement respiration. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. They are oviparous and development is direct. Examples: Corvus crow, Columba pigeon, Pisticula parrot, Struthio ostrich, pavo peacock, Aptenodytes, penguin, neophron vulture, class Mammalia. They are found in variety of habitat: polar ice cap, desert, mountain, forest, grassland, and dark caves. Some of them have adapted to fly or live in water. Most unique mammalian character is the presence of milk-producing glands, mammary glands, by which the young ones are nourished. They have two pair of limbs adapted for walking, running, climbing, burrowing, swimming, or flying. The skin of mammals is unique in possessing hair. External ears or pinnae are present. Different type of teeth are present in jaws. Heart is four-chambered. They are homeothermous. Respiration is by lungs. Sexes are separate and fertilization is internal. They are viviparous with few exceptions and development is direct. Examples: oviparous, Ornithorhynchus platypus; viviparous, Macropus kangaroo; Pteropus flying fox; Camelus camel; Macaca monkey; Ratus rat; Canis dog; Felis cat; Elephas elephant; Equus horse, Delphinus common dolphin, Balanopetra blue whale, Panthera tigris tiger, Panthera leo lion. Thank you.